नमस्कार आपण समस्त को यही वीडियो बहुत बहुत स्वागत। आज वीडियो में आप सहित पर्सपेक्टिव्स ऑन इंटरनेशनल रिलेशंस एन ओवरव्यू ऑफ 20th सेंचुरी IR2 यूनिट 4 किसी वन मार्क्स क्वेश्चन आंसर आप वीडियो शेयर करी आ वीडियो आगे को कहि जे आपण मैंने यार पीडीएफ को किपरि भाबे पाई परिबे। तो चलतु स्टार्ट करबा। तो फास्ट क्वेश्चन होची डेज फास्ट यूज द टर्म कोल्ड वार ना Bernard Baruch first used the term Cold War. The term sustainable development is coined by the Death Report 1987. The term sustainable development is coined by Brundtland Commission report in 1987. With Soviet attack on which country on 24 December 1979, the new Cold War commanded na Afghanistan Soviet attack with Soviet attack on Afghanistan country on 24 December 1979. The new Cold War commanded. The term Cold War means this hostility between nations. Now the term Cold War means non-military hostility between nations. The America took the leadership of all the Death countries. The America took the leadership of capitalist countries. Soviet Russia took the leadership of all the Death countries. Soviet Russia took the leadership of communist countries. In the geographic language of Cold War, Death Cold War is a state of the tension between countries in which each side adopts politics designed to strengthen it and weaken to other by falling short by actual war. Nada in the graphic language of Hartman, Cold War is a state of tension between countries in which each side adopts policies designed to strengthen in the weaken the other by falling short by actual war. Fifth phase 1962 to 1969 of Cold War was marked by deaths between USA and USSR. Na detained between USA and USSR. A treaty was signed between Australia, New Zealand and America in September 1957, which was known as UNCLOS. A treaty was signed between Australia, New Zealand and America in September 1957, which is known as UNCLOS. The Berlin Wall fell on 9/11/1989, making a symbol end to the Cold War. Coming from stands from the Communist Information Bureau. The DES was launched in 1947 as the Soviet response to Marshall Plan. The Comintern was launched in 1947 as the Soviet response to the Marshall Plan. The term Cold War had an DES origin. The term Cold War has an American origin. Next question. Russia DES war finally resulted in the formation of Union Soviet Socialist Republicans USSR in 1929 as civil. The Russian Civil War finally resulted in the formation of Union Soviet Socialist Republic means USSR in 1922. The Union of Soviet Socialist Republics USSR had a total of 10 republics before its disintegration 1991 na 15. The Union Soviet of Socialist Republicans USSR had a total of 15 republics or blocks before its disintegration in 1991. The view of this is that the Cold War began while the hot war was still raging. Now the view of Posoni is that the Cold War began while the hot war was still raging. The Cold War period explained the DES process in the world. The Cold War period explained the decolonization process in the world. The Cold War having originated DES in the late 1940s. The Cold War having originated in Europe in the late 1940s. STI stands for DES. STI stands for Strategic Defensive Initiatives. INF stands for DES. INF stands for Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces Treaty. INF. PTBT stands for Partial Test Ban Treaty. The Second World War was fought between the two blocs, the DES power, Allied and the Axis powers. SALT I was signed between the USA and DES. SALT I was signed between USA and USSR. Now we discuss questions on one word answers. The first two World War ended with the birth of which system in the world? The first two World War 1914-1918 ended with the birth of a socialist system in the world. In which year 1939 the Second World War broke out? Now in year 1939 the Second World War broke out. At which Sumit on 3 December 1989 virtually a formal declaration of ending Cold War was asserted by the two superpowers. At Malta, Sumit on 3 December 1989 virtually a formal declaration of ending Cold War was asserted by two superpowers. Cold War has originated in the week of which World War? Cold War has originated in the week of First World War. Which revolution was a very important revolution of 1917 that ended the Russian Empire? The Russian Revolution was very important revolution of 1917 that ended Russian Empire. Goldsnost means what? No, openness. Goldsnost means openness. Goldsnost. Pristokia means what? Na Pristokia means restructuring. Who popularized the term Cold War? Na Walter Lippmann popularized the term Cold War. Who defined Cold War as the conflict between the communist powers and rest of the world waged by means sort of open major war? Na R.K. Garthop defined Cold War as the conflict between the communist powers and the rest of the world waged by means sort of over major war. So in this video we discuss now already some questions are there. In which year the NATO was formed? In 1949 NATO formed. In which year Russia was signed Warsaw Pact? In 1955 Russia was signed Warsaw Pact. Which conference was held at Berlin 1945 among US, UK and Soviet Union? In Potsdam conference was held at Berlin in 1945 amongst the USA and UK. Historians below believed that the announcement of which doctrine marked of the official declaration of Cold War? Historian believed that the announcement of Truman doctrine marked the official declaration of the Cold War. According to which plan, which was declared of 5 June 1947, America gave financial assistance to Western Europe countries? Marshall. According to Marshall Plan, which was declared on 5 June 1947, America gave financial assistance to Western European countries. Which phase 1979-1987 of Cold War is called New Cold War? Last phase 1979-1987 of Cold War is called New Cold War. Who applied Berlin blockade in 1948? Soviet Union applied Berlin blockade in 1948. Who first used the term Cold War? Bernard Baruch used the term Cold War. First used the term Cold War. Which Soviet attack on which country on 24 December 1979? The new Cold War commenced. The Afghanistan Soviet attack on Afghanistan country on 24 December 1979. The new Cold War commenced. So in this video we discuss unit 4 1 marks question answer. If you get the answers or notes, so join our Telegram group, link in the description. So thank you to all watching this video.